snuck up on you. I'm not Toni, I'm Jennifer. I work here. Welcome to the Greene Space. Yeah. Thank you. I like a person who hoots. Hooting's great. Welcome. If you've never been here before, you're basically in a big radio studio. This is New York Public Radio. We do live radio, we do podcasts, we do video streams, and we do artist residencies like this one with Toni Thai Sterrett that you've come to tonight. So glad you're here. Hope you will come back. If you haven't already got your ticket through our website, if you want to follow us and get all of our things, we're on all the platforms. And we have a newsletter that Kate over there in the corner writes, and it's great, as newsletters go. So get that newsletter. If you have not silenced your phone, please do that, though, before we get started. But take all the pictures, do all the things. And you ready? Let's just go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Your host tonight is a filmmaker, a photographer, an NFT creator. She's created short films, commercials, branded content for tons and tons of clients. She was chosen by Ava DuVernay as Vibe's next female filmmaker for her directing efforts on her short film, Presumed, inspired by the tragic murder of Trayvon Martin. In 2020, Toni excelled as a creator on Clubhouse, where she gained a following of over 250,000 people. She's hosted conversations for Amazon, Bumble, CoinDesk, HBO, Showtime, Walmart, all kinds of things. And now she's hosting one just for you. Give it up for Toni Thai Sterrett.
Welcome to the Greene Space. I'm so excited. This is my last night, so I'm slightly nervous. But welcome. This is celebrating Grrls Creative Club, which is my project that's starting off as an NFT, but we are a safe space for creatives. It's what I didn't have as a creative. Hi. It's what I didn't have as a creative coming into this business. And I always thought about, like, during the Me Too movement, like a lot of those of us who are creators had to experience some not so desirable things in this business in entertainment. And I remember during Me Too, they had people going on Twitter doing this hashtag Me Too. And I'm like, all right, well, now what? You know, you have people putting their business in the street, right? But you're exposing that you've had something traumatic happen, but you know, where did you go after that? You know, there's tons of creatives who are not in New York, they're not in LA, they're not in big cities. Also, the reason why I named this Grrls Creative Club is because I was told by a woman that I've known most of my life. Ooh, excuse me. Can't get too sexy for the cameras. That the reason why I wasn't getting more support from other women in the business is because, well, she said things I won't want to repeat, but one of them was that she mentioned something about the way I dressed. And she told me I needed to dress more classy. And she said, Rihanna can do that, but you're not Rihanna. So I was like, And Rihanna goes by Bad Girl Riri. And I was like, well, I want to be bad and still be creative, right? What's out here has nothing to do with what's in here. I think about Diablo Cody, who wrote a screenplay called Juno. She was a stripper and she won an Oscar. So I'm like, well, if she can do it, anybody can do it. And I know that there's women all over the world, all over the country, who are not in the big cities, who have talent, and we don't see them. We want to be able to find them. So that's why I started Grrls Creative Club. So I'm really excited to have you guys here tonight. And I want to bring up my friend Kiki before we get this started. You guys saw the artwork outside. But Kiki, where are you? Kiki? Okay. All right, well, while we're waiting for Kiki, because I think she's taking selfies in the back. That's where I left her, taking selfies. We have some amazing people in the audience. We have Elise Swopes from Sunrise Art Club. She's an amazing creator in this space. She has a series called Sunrise Art, where she has a sunrise of every morning, 365 days, and she's selling them as NFTs, and they're on OpenSea, right? Yes, sunrise.art. So everyone say hi to Elise. I don't know if you guys joined us. A couple weeks ago, we had Wanderlust Wednesdays, where we talked about NFTs with Jordan Muthra from CoinDesk, and he's over there in the cut. Hi, Jordan. And I'll have some more shout outs later, but we're going to get this started. All right, I'm switching mics for the people at home. Hi, Kiki.
Hi, Toni.
How are you?
I am fantastic.
So we're here, and this started as a conversation.
Yeah.
So how do you feel
as
seeing
all of our creative
So
things
Kiki was a designer. She is still a designer. She has her own clothing line. She's wearing some of her own designs. But when I was a teenager, I started modeling for her. She was designing at FUBU.
Yeah.
And I had braces. And I was like really shy, but she saw something in me. And they took me to Vegas, and that's where this all started.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So Kiki's been the lead designer for everyone from beyond. Every celebrity that's had a clothing line, she's been the head designer. Like Justin Timberlake, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Nicki Minaj, everyone.
Yeah.
And now you're transitioning into art full time.
Yes, that's the goal.
So what is it about the NFT space that attracted you and made you want to come in?
I've been just really trying to put my art in the forefront for a long time. It's always been what's driven me as a designer. It's been the thing that like makes my designs unique, because I really kind of pull from my own artwork, which is pulled from my own experiences. And I really wanted to just put it up in the front. And I feel like after 29 years as a fashion designer, like it seems like the higher you get in the business, the further you move from the creative. And that's my favorite part. So
you've made a ton of money in your career, but you didn't get equity, right? Like you did. I thought I heard someone chuckle. You didn't get equity in these designs, right? And I think the great part about, the NFT space is that you can get residuals for anything that you create. So now you're also looking at fashion wearables and stuff like that. You've been sending me articles every day.
Yes. Yeah, I love the fact that there's just the idea of the starving artist is kind of going away, because I think when I was growing up, right? Can we eat too and do art? But yeah, I think when I was growing up, the first thing that I used to say was, I want to be an artist. Like, what do you want to be? An artist. And it didn't seem like, a real thing. Like a career, because everybody's like, oh, it's a starving artist thing and it's hard or whatever. And, I ended up, I love doing art on just any type of medium, and apparel and fabric was just one of the mediums that I like to create with. So, I was already making my own stuff and stuff for my Barbies, and then I heard it was like, the fashion design was a thing. So I was like, ooh, I could do that.
I made a couple Barbie outfits, but they weren't as cute as yours, probably.
Yes, I like. Doesn't everybody? But like,
I don't know.
I can't wait to have my own Barbie.
Oh,
Holla Barbie.
manifestation. Name it and claim it.
Exactly.
All right, so we have this piece of art that you made. So Grrls Creative Club, the NFT drops in late October, but we are going to be releasing this one on the screens. If you guys look at the screens, that is going to be released as a one-of-one to celebrate Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. So I've had a sneak peek of this NFT on my Twitter profile and posted it, and I've had a little peek of these tattoos on her breast, but tell us what this is about.
It's just like a lot of women who've gone through mastectomies. You find ways of just embracing your new look, So a lot of women I've seen get tattoos and everything, and I think it's beautiful. And
so the pink smoke, that's marijuana she's smoking, right? Medicinal marijuana.
Yeah, so she's still a badass, and yeah, she's like,
And that's part of the point of Grrls Creative Club. So I have like a requirement for everyone to dress nice, like when they come to this event, right? You come on stage, I'm like, wear your fly shit. Because I'm from Harlem, and like we were celebrated for having like a unique style. Like literally when you're walking down the street, people are like, yes, girl, you're wearing that outfit. I like your shoes. I like your braids. I like this. Nobody complimented me on my wig in Harlem yet, but hopefully that's coming soon. But it's just, I grew up in a community that really encouraged me to be my authentic self and to always like dress up for the moment. Yeah. It's always a moment.
Yes.
And we just like to see other people look good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't even understand the concept of a hater. Like it just doesn't even make sense, because when you're around people that look and feel good, it makes you feel better and happy. So.
And we love that energy. Like,
and when you said she's still a badass, I'm like, okay, yeah, she still got on her hoops.
Yeah.
But she got those breast cancers, the tattoos over her scars, but she's still a badass woman. I won't say the B word because I know this is being recorded. But yeah. Well,
yeah, if anything, she's more of one.
Yeah.
Everybody has gone through their different
Their things, their stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to, so make sure you guys are following Bad Girls Creative Club. The cards are on the table, so make sure you scan the QR code. Sign up so you can find out about the launch, but then also on that page, you'll see the Instagram and Twitter, and that's when we'll announce where this one of one will be sold and when, the date. So Kiki, thank you so much.
Thank you, and you can check out my line.
Yes, you can give yourself, you can shout yourself out.
My brand is called K Milele, which is Kianga Milele, which is my full name, and it means sunbeam everlasting. And
you're the daughter of a Black Panther, Thug Life.
Yes.
I love it. All right, well,
yes,
thank
my
you.
collection is called, this is my protest, by the way. But yes, K Milele, K-M-I-L-E-L-E.
All right. Thank you, Kiki.
Bye, thank you.
Woo! All right, so next up, all right, I got to switch to this mic. Is this on? Can you guys hear me? All right, well, I'm going to talk loud. So next up, there's a friend of mine. So I like, obviously, being around my friends. Most of the people that I work with, most of the people that you'll see on stage today are my friends or people that I've made become my friends. May have met once and wound up having weird drunken nights. Won't say any names. But I think that you are what you attract. So I think if you think you're amazing, then the people that you attract and that you have in your life are amazing. So I tend to see people always putting people that they don't know in the forefront, but I want to always work with my friends. And I also don't want to get to a point where I'm so wealthy, because I'm manifesting that, but I have to pay for everyone. So I need everyone around me to be doing what they love so that they can make all the money too. So that's why you'll see me surrounded by a lot of my friends, because I think they're amazing. So next up, you're going to get a performance from Guns N' Hoses. They're more than just a Guns N' Roses cover band, because Slash himself said that they're like their mirror. And they're amazing. And the lead singer is Erin Mars. We're going to talk to her a little bit after. And she and I met on the set of a Pantene commercial. Actually, before, we were prepping for Pantene commercials that I directed, and she was the producer. And I stole her as my friend from the production company. So everyone give it up for Guns N' Hoses. Woo!
Hi, everybody. We're so excited to be here this evening with all of you, and honored to be a part of this to support Toni and get the word out more about Bad Grrls Creative Club. And Kiki, I just want to say, amazing. Like, the art, the NFT that's going to be coming out to support breast cancer awareness is such a beautiful thing when we touch on community in that way. So I can't see from here, but wherever you are, I'm gonna give you a big hug later. You're amazing. So I don't know where she went. Let's clap for her, you guys. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. You may be, if you've got that money, honey, we've got your seeds in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Take your knees. Gonna make you scream. Welcome to the jungle. It gets worse every day. You'll learn to live like an animal in the jungle where we play. You're very textured, very hard to please. You might want to ride out, Tony, but you won't get there for free.
Introduce everyone. Yo, I had to get up and start dancing. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So how did that feel? You all right? You needed to
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Making you talk after all of that.
Yeah, we get into it. Sorry, I've got my earplugs in now. I feel like without the drums pounding behind me, it's not needed. No, it's great.
But you guys got another song after this.
We do have another. Yeah, we do have another song. So, Guns N' Hoses is a all-female tribute band to Guns N' Roses. And
tribute band, not cover band.
Right, because we only play Guns N' Roses.
Oh.
So it's a tribute to them. I guess that's the difference there. And it was started to connect with other female musicians. All of us are playing a bunch of different projects, our own projects, playing Broadway. Beth was just in A Strange Loop, which won a Tony. She plays guitar for them. So it's a collective of really awesome, fun, talented women who want to get together, have a creative project that you take away the element where you can have, some grittiness with songwriting, decision making when you're in a band, and everybody's just playing exactly like the record, and we get backstage and we do each other's makeup and talk about clothes, and then we go out and we melt faces, and then we say, oh, you have an album coming out? What's your album? Okay, I can help you with that. Do you need to know this booker? Let me help you get that booker. We're collectively always trying to up-level each other and support other women, and
that's why I wanted you. That's why I wanted you here. I mean, I think a lot of someone was clapping. Woohoo! Give it up! Give it up! Yes. So I think a lot of times we talk a lot about equity, and the reason why I got into the Web3 space and fell in love with it because I'm like, oh, creative royalties, equity, we own our stuff, and that was very attractive to me. I've pulled you into this, and now you've gone down the rabbit hole. So what about this appeals to you? The idea of being in the NFT space?
Well, I think the NFT space is hugely important for musicians and anybody putting out any kind of thing like that as a additional revenue stream. It's one of those things where we're in this moment in time where people need to understand there's a different technology that's been launched that can help support you artistically, which we're seeing with a lot of artists come out with things and make a lot of money that way and get revenue from that, royalties, etc. And with the music industry, they've had a tendency, if you go back in time when it's like Napster started and people are downloading songs, people freaking out and trying to stop it instead of the industry embracing it. And then something now, streaming is totally normal. People stream songs everywhere. You don't even really think about it. But at the time back then when that was just really starting, the industry really hit a place that was tough because they didn't embrace that change that was inevitable. You can't stop change, right? And you need to be open to that. And in the sense, as an artist, you're always future seeking. You're always needing to see big picture. You always want to know what's new, what's next, what's new, what's next. And that's always part of, I think, what's attracted me to the NFT phenomenon. It's not just a blank. It's one of those moments again where people will look back and say, crap, I should have done that.
You hit that right on the head, and that's funny. That's something I learned from. Give it up for Fab Five Freddy, our DJ tonight. Woo, the icon, the legends.
Yes.
It's funny. Yes. He was in a part of an auction at Phillips Auction House recently. He's always at Sotheby's and all the good fun stuff, Christie's and whatnot. And we were together, and I've known him for most of my life, right? And I was like, it just hit me. I was like, oh my God. And I'm thinking about being in the NFT space. I'm like, wow, 20 years from now, I'll say I was here in the beginning. And you mentioned always being forward thinking and thinking about what's next. That's something that I learned from him and see him do all the time. And I'm like, okay, he was on the forefront of hip hop, the forefront of the street art movement, and I thought that was pretty incredible, to be on this journey with him because he's the reason why I'm here. Essentially, he brought me onto Clubhouse where I learned about NFTs. And when he first told me about it, I was like, Clubhouse, people talking, that sounds stupid. And then one day he just sent the invite and I went on and I was like, oh my God, this is like a wonderland. And I was like, you know what? When I get on here, I'm just going to be myself. because I was like, I just want to be myself and I want to fucking curse. Because I'm like, people don't hear me when I speak. I feel like they're just like, just shut up and be pretty. That's how I've always been treated. But Clubhouse was a platform where you weren't seen, you were heard. And people got to hear me and it went well. So thank you, Fab, and thank you, Erin. I'm going to give you a minute to get, you're going to do your next song, right? How many minutes?
Sure.
Do you need like a minute?
Not even. I think we're ready to go.
You're ready? All right. So I'm going to get
Yeah.
off the stage
Thank
and I'll be
you.
over here dancing because I'm a groupie. And yeah.
do we go now? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go now? Oh, where do we go now? Oh, where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go now? Where do we go? Sweet child, where do we go now? Oh, sweet child. Thank you so much.
That was amazing. Oh my God. Where did that voice come from? My God. And she has a 1-year-old. What is this? Thank you, ladies. Oh my God. That was amazing. Give it up. Woo! Yes. Woohoo! Thank you guys. All right. Having a little set change. Did I say hi? Hi, Jelena from the Zero Space. So my next artist in residency after we do our mints is at the Zero Space in Brooklyn. So right off the gate, we're gonna start creating IP. It's a metaverse. Yes, It's a lot of Jamaicans in here. Including Denise Hamilton over there, who has a New York Times bestseller coming out soon. She's one of my Clubhouse fam. But yeah, so we're gonna be at Zero Space. Our target date is Halloween, so stay tuned and make sure you guys are following. And I'm gonna bring up a few people to chit chat. Let me see, who else do we have in here? I feel like a comedian. You know how they're on stage? I think I'm funny, but I don't know how funny. Hello. Hi, say hello and introduce yourself really quickly. You're doing amazing things at the World Trade Center, the Oculus. So stand up real quick, say hello. I met,
Hello, everyone. I'm so honored to be standing here with you. Thank you so much. Well, my name is Maria Van Floodrop, and I have an art show. I work with artists, and we have a show that we ran at the World Trade Center. We take over all the
Oculus.
the Oculus at the World Trade Center. And this year, I haven't announced it yet, but we're going national across the U.S. on big billboards. So you'll be hearing. The company is MVVO Art.
Yes.
So thank you.
Very fancy lady. Hi. Did you guys see the documentary Summer of Soul? That Questlove won an Oscar for. You know, he won that Oscar after that bad situation. The star of that documentary is here, Mr. Musa Jackson. I don't know if you guys remember him. If you cried in the end, it was his fault. Hey, Musa. I definitely cried. I was like, Musa. Got celebrities in here. I really am acting like a comedian right now, right? I'm just trying to kill time while he's getting the mic up. But am I doing okay? Okay. I was so nervous today. I was really nervous, and I had to have some white wine, and I left it backstage, so I'm going to be sober for the rest of this. But I'm going to sit down here and welcome up a couple fellas. So Grrls Creative Club, yes, it's for women, but we want to have men involved as well. And I probably can get rid of this mic now and use this one, right? Okay. And I'm not one of those people. I don't believe in, like, you know, feminism sometimes can be like, we hate men, misogyny, we hate cisgendered white men. I'm not that. I feel like we need everybody. I know that, you found my wine. Thank you. Oh my God. Let me tell you, this is such an honor to be here at the Greene Space. This is like, you guys are really amazing and very professional, and I appreciate it. But back to misogyny. So I'm not one of those people. I believe that we need everyone. And like, I'm like, okay, well, I volunteered a lot when Obama was running, and I got to speak to a lot of people. I did a lot of phone canvassing and phone calls, whatever you call it, phone banking. And, you know, people were really excited. And I'm like, we couldn't have had our black president that we were so proud of without a lot of like very good white people, you know what I mean? And Asian people, it's like all ethnicities. So I don't want to live in a bubble. I feel like we need everyone to make positive impact. So that's why I have a couple of my guy friends coming up right now, Ryan and Israel, who's part of the Grrls Creative Club team. He's our biggest cheerleader. And we're going to talk to him really quickly before we get to our ladies only panel. Ooh. Swinging out like an arm. All right. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Israel.
How's it going?
All right. So Ryan and I met because Kate, who does the marketing here, we were looking for a gallery, and we walked in. It was no longer there, but you were. And I found out you're in the Web3 space, and we talked about health. So as we're making this move, we're moving more towards a digital world, and we're at home more. Like we learned during the pandemic, we can do a lot more at home. People are really fighting to be able to work from home, although offices are trying to get us back in the office, but we don't want to go, right? So you talked a lot to me. I was like, okay, with Grrls Creative Club, I want to have like, you know, because I have an Oculus and I work out on Super World, and you're like, yeah, that's not sustainable, and people drop off. And I just, you know, when we think about like moving into a digital world, it's important for us to also move and stay healthy. So that's why I wanted Ryan to be here. And I wanted you to just say hello, tell us a little bit about yourself quickly, and then tell us what you told me about movement and exercise and reframing and the language.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, this is amazing, and to see what you've created is absolutely incredible. So congratulations. So my name is Ryan, and I am the co-founder of Body Art Training Studios. And we are a physical therapy-based approach to movement training. We're super passionate about injury prevention, pain reduction, and sustainability for your body. We talk about sustainability in the environment with compostable straws and recycling, but we need to start talking about sustainability as it pertains to like this environment, the internal environment. Mm-hmm. And so when we talk about health, there's one thing to remember is that health is not just something that we think about after we have something bad happen. It's actually something we need to think about all the time. Your body is constantly healing itself. Mm-hmm. What we know is that healing has 3 ingredients. Number 1, bio, psycho, social. So bio is everything that's happening in your body. Psycho is everything that's happening in your mentality, your mind, and we know that biochemicals like oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, noradrenaline, it actually affects your muscle tissue, it affects your immune system, it affects your digestive system, it affects your skin, right? So we got to look at the mental side, and then the most important thing for Web3 is the social. We call it biopsychosocial, and you can't really look at one by one, you have to look at it all together. And so right now in the quote-unquote fitness space, there's a lot of talk about gamification, right? Mm-hmm. Turning something into a game. Mm-hmm. But they miss one really important thing, which is if you look at the gaming community, the reason why people are addicted to games is not because of the game, it's the community. When you play a game, and anybody a gamer? Okay. You know, you put your headset on, you got your microphone, you're talking to all your friends, right? It's a community. So what we're doing is we're facilitating experiences. We got a pop-up right now in Union Square. That's where we met. Mm-hmm. And the idea is to help people reframe their relationship to movement IRL, but then also big picture to actually create a digital version of that where people can, again, connect with community. Mm-hmm. So as you said, with reframing our relationship to movement, it's really important that we start to look at words. If you look historically at marginalized, oppressed, enslaved people, there are words that were used against their bodies, right? You think about the words whip, burn, torch, rip, shred, cut, smash, crush, grind, beat, kill, destroy. These are heavy words, but these are the words that have been adopted by the fitness industry as motivation. You whip your body. You burn. So the subconscious messaging is that your body is a slave that needs to be punished and disciplined. So this is not sustainable. Mm-hmm. So people wonder why they got shoulder rotator cuff injuries and herniated disc and labral tears in their hip. So we got to change our relationship to movement in a way that's sustainable, that's not toxic.
What are some of the words that we should use instead? Oh. Yeah, that was deep. That's why.
Well, let's think about.
I don't work out, and that's probably why. Because I think my spirit is rejecting those words because of the.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
So it
yeah.
makes sense.
So
like,
we were
how do we make it fun and healthy? Like, what are the words we can use instead of whip, burn, crush, crash?
Yeah. So think about I think about the words that you're using right here about in the collective, right?
Love.
Love, build, collaborate, construct, inspire. All those words can be used in relationship movement.
So when I'm looking in the mirror, I could say, I inspire you muscles to grow?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'm being serious.
Okay.
You can actually say, like,
So talk to yourself with love.
I'm building something. I'm constructing
Ooh,
something.
Molding.
Yes.
Shaping.
And you also talk about equity, right?
Yeah.
So you can also take ownership of your body. You can take agency over the choices that you make, and you say, you know what? I'm going to move my body in a way that feels good. Because neurologically, you are programmed to be super consistent with movement that you find pleasurable.
Well, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my mind went somewhere else, but sorry, I'm inappropriate.
I mean, we can have a whole other conversation.
No, not today. Israel, thank you so much, Ryan. Everyone give it up. Yeah. Israel Wilson. He's the #1 bad girl. Our biggest cheerleader. I just appreciate you so much. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm just really happy seeing you sitting here looking at me right now.
Thank you.
So, tell me, why are you so inspired by Grrls Creative Club, and why are you putting yourself, you just really throwing yourself into this community and this project, and you're a dude?
Dig it. I think the reason why a lot of people here are here, I think artists, art, before all of this popped off, we had a lot of conversation about artists. And I was, and the deep part about art is that it's a support of the artist. And so you and Kiki and all the work that you've done and your personalities and the spirit that you guys bring to things will then bring in other people that want to support that. And that's all that art is. I was talking earlier to Jelena, and I was like, there's a painting called Azul, and it's blue. And it's just a blue. There's no special blue. There's all types of blues. But that blue was drawn by a certain person, and it's about the story, and it's about everything like that. And I know that being one of your friends and witnessing how you interact with people, I can see that that you're intentional about this, that you're not focused. So many people, they focus on money as they focus on income, and then they disallow a lot of greater outcomes. And the most money that I've ever made, I made for free. So I'm always willing, when I see something that I believe in, or I see a person or I believe in, I got this thing, ICGNU, that I've been working on it for the last 13 years. So I see God in you, I see greatness in you.
Oh, I like
so
that.
That's my recognition. My recognition is of the divinity in everyone. I see that, I acknowledge that. I have a family that is extremely flawed, and in no way could I have loved my family if I focused on their flaws. But what I do is I focus on the great parts about them, and I accept the flaws as consequence, and I work with people from the point of their greatness rather than judging them from that state. So with you, I saw that there was no project yet, there was no anything yet, but I just saw that what's great about you is that you truly do form emotional connections with people. I got so many fakationships. People for the last not real relationships.
Fake relationships.
Yeah, fake relationships. So there's so many people that try to plug into me that don't really want to be my friend, that try to take my resources, that do all these different things just because they see they see me as and even companies see me as like some type of point of influence, but I like to work with people that appreciate my advice and appreciate my input. So so I'll support in that way because I see you supporting other people.
Yeah,
and you have been a great supporter of me.
So for this artist in residency, I could have done anything that I wanted, and I was like, I want to talk to more friends. So yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Israel, give us some words for the ladies. We have an all-female panel that's about to join us up here. So I want to normalize. I went to a tech and art summit recently, and it was amazing. But there was 2 days of conversations. There was only one black person on 2 days of panels, and one was he was an artist. And there was no black women. And then on the second day, there were some women, like white women, and one Asian woman. They were only moderators. And I was so it was great, but I was really kind of offended too, because I was just like, why don't they see us as thought leaders? Like we're not just talent, right? Black people and people of color are not just talent, and women are not just there to facilitate the thoughts of men. And we're not. And I was like, okay. At the end, they was like, if you guys have feedback, here's our emails. I'm like, writing that down. And then a week later, I was like, this was really amazing. I met some amazing people. I learned so much. But, you guys need to kind of think about this. Maybe you weren't thinking about it, but I realized I don't think it was intentional. I think it's just what they're used to. You are drawn to people that look like you, right? Sometimes you'll see people hanging out together who have the similar weight, build, height. It's just you kind of are you like yourself. We're vain, I guess. So I sent them an email, and they were very receptive. And they said, when the time comes back around next year, we'll talk to you. But I think that we need to start having these conversations. Ringers off. Love you. We need to start having these conversations, but not in an aggressive way. Let people have room for error, like you were saying about your family members that you love. I don't agree with beating up on people, but it's kind of okay, you might have a blind spot and you're not aware of it, cisgendered white man. No offense, but I'm joking. But I want to be able to have this conversation with you, and it's not me having a pitchfork out. So yeah, we have the ladies coming up. But I appreciate you guys for being here and being supportive of me in this project. And I want to encourage you guys to continue to think of women when you're having conversations as thought leaders, as founders. So give it up for yourselves. Give me a hug. All right, so we're going to have one more seat come up. Are you guys having a good time? I've never seen anything done like this before, but I was like, we're going to figure it out. And I'm appreciative that, these amazing people are making it happen. So I'm going to welcome up my next guest to the stage. We have these amazing women right here. I'm gonna make this one come first. Let's welcome Courtney McDermott of Decrypt Media. How are you? She was nervous, so.
She's still nervous.
So I told her I was going to put her on the spot. I love this. Let me see.
I told you I was going to be fancy for you.
Yes, it's giving. All right. So next up, we have Markeisha Patrice. She's a marketing executive maven. And she is at the wonderful Coin Desk, one of my clients. And she was a client. She tried to fire me once. I did. And I was mad at her. But then now she's one of my closest friends. And
we have deadlines and timelines and stuff.
I know. I'm an artist. What do you mean you need a Google Drive? I don't like that.
You're immediately.
She's like, Toni, we need organization.
Yes. 5 p.m. Send me that email.
I'm just going to put it in the thread. She's like, no, that's not how corporate works. No. I was like, whatever. Anyway.
We fixed it, though.
We fixed it. And now you're stuck with me forever. And next we have Natasha Hoskins from Boys Club, Dow. Woo! Hi, ladies.
Hi.
This is exciting. So I'm going to start with you, Natasha.
Okay.
How are you? After we get your mic adjusted.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hi.
You can pull it closer to you so you don't have to lean into it.
Great.
Yep,
There we go. There
Yes.
we go. Hi.
That's good. Hi. So I want to start with you. Tell us a little bit about Boys Club and why. Why did you name it Boys Club? You go ahead.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Natasha. I'm one of the co-founders of Boys Club. Boys Club is a social DAO, product studio, and media company. And we're doing lots of things. I would say that we get this question a lot about Boys Club. One of the reasons why we named it that is we have a really deep sense of humor. So that's sort of integral to what we're doing. But obviously the idea is that
we launched about a year ago, and there were a lot of extremely smart, capable women sitting on the sidelines of what was happening in Web3 and in crypto. And we wanted to design a space that felt really welcoming to women and non-binary individuals, and really wanted to essentially poke some fun at that. It's pretty much a boys club, but it's getting way, way better. And so it was that, and then also a sense of just like, we're not about saying that we're about empowerment. We're just doing that work and showing that women can be in this space in a really meaningful way and build something really great here. So it's a lot of fun. Boys club is meant to be a lot of fun. It's not meant to like poke anything mean or anything like that.
I need some of that merch.
I just heard about an amazing pizza party, actually.
Oh, we did have a great pizza party. We love some pizza and natural wine is also sort of integral to what we're doing.
I was on my way to that, and I almost got hit by an electric bike. And then the person driving the electric bike was yelling at me, and I got a little shaken up, so I went back home because I was
So you missed the pizza party.
Yeah, I did, because I was just, somebody's yelling at you, and you're like, what the fuck? And it just messes up your, like, I was like, you almost hit me, bitch. Why are you driving your bike on the sidewalk? And then I was like, I'm going home, because I was already, like,
it was
frazzled.
too much.
Yeah, sorry.
We do a lot of in-person stuff, so you can come on down next time.
Pizza party, yes. All right, Markeisha.
Hi, my dear.
Hi. So why are you in Web3? Why are you in this space?
Oh man, lots of reasons. So I actually joined Web3 in mid 2018, and I was just taken aback and surprised by how many people didn't know about it. And so I actually started my career in marketing, worked in marketing, and so when I was invited to work at CoinDesk, I was like, you've never had a marketer? Like, nobody, so how do you tell people about what's happening? Like, there's something really big happening here. And so my aha moment is the better question, I think, for me, because my aha moment came when I realized that this was an opportunity for people like me and people like Toni and people like marginalized communities all across the world to close the wealth gap that we have. Like the white counterparts, right? They have a 400-year head start on us to accumulating wealth. And so in this lifetime, we have an opportunity to make that gap a little bit smaller through this advancement of technology. And I know that sounds like, okay, so I got into it for the money. But what you'll learn, and what I've learned over time, is that the people who come from those underdeveloped and underserved communities are actually the most innovative. They're the ones that are really figuring out, how do I use this to solve real world problems? We don't have a stabilized currency in most of Africa. How do we create some sort of a currency so that I can send money from my home in New York City to my family in Ghana, to my family in Nigeria, to my family in South Africa? So when you start to figure out how this stuff applies and how to create banks and how to create wallets and all of that, you realize that this is the only way to true innovation and success. And so you can't not be a part of it anymore. It's like taking that red pill and now you're like, fuck, I'm in the Matrix.
We love it, we love it, we love it. Courtney.
Yeah.
Hi, boo.
Hi. You're lucky I love you.
She's like, I don't do panels, but now you are.
I do not do
panels. I got you. So you're at Decrypt Media.
Yes.
You guys are a crypto media platform, just like CoinDesk. And why are you in this space? And why do you think it's important? And also, 3 questions, because you're nervous. I want to know what you.
Give the nervous girl another question.
I'm just joking. No, what do you say to your family who thinks this whole crypto thing is a scam?
Oh,
you can start there if you want. And then you can tell us why you're in this space.
I don't get the scam question. My mom legitimately thinks I work at like Geek Squad, like Best Buy Geek Squad. Like she thinks crypto is like IT. Like she has no concept of any of it. I do get a lot of questions like, is this real? Is it sticking around? Not that it's a scam, but is it a fad? Yeah. You hear that a lot.
Yeah, my mom said, like, be careful of Bitcoin scams when I first started working in it. I was like, Mom, you have no idea.
Right. But I don't get the scam thing so much. My mom just has no clue. I've tried to explain it 300 times, and it's just, she's not going to get it, so I don't bother anymore. How did I get into the space? Very accidentally. I was in ad tech, totally different. My boss from 6 years ago, when she left the company, when she was leaving, told me, one day I'm going to come back for you, like our boss romance story, and she did. She said, I'm working for this crypto media company. I have your dream job ready.
Wow.
Do you want to come work for me? And I'm like, crypto. Like, I have no idea
What is crypto?
is. Like, crypto, I can't do crypto. And I was like, sure, why not? I'll come work for you. Sounds great. And
Wow.
that's how I ended up in the space, but I love it.
So what excites you the most about it?
Every day is different, especially at this stage, because everything is so new. The learning curve is steep right now, but not as steep. We were saying this before the panel started when I was talking to you guys upstairs. Not as steep as if I were to dive in maybe like 4 years from now when everything is really
Right.
like maybe solidified.
Get it
So
together, right?
yes, exactly.
Yeah. So Natasha, so you guys, at Boys Club, you guys started, like you raised by doing an NFT project.
Yeah.
And NFT kind of has a bad rap right now, right? It's looked at as this like bro thing, you know, JPEG flipping, get rich quick situation, right?
Yeah.
You know, I really think that women are going to be the promise of the premise of Web3. And for you, how do you think that we can because I think the boys, they're the ones who brought that jargon in, right? We all gonna make it, wag me. You know, what's some of the other ones? GM. You know, what's some other ones? Help me out, Elise.
DYOR, do your own research.
Yeah, do your own research, not financial advice.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like all this complicated stuff, and I always say the jargon in Web3 creates a barrier to entry, right? So I think that women are going to kind of come in and bring that smooth, like, you know, we finesse, we have that maternal instinct, we nurture, right? So how do you think we can further the conversation and make it something where people are looking at this as more than just JPEGs?
I think that, I mean, I'm really interested in DAOs, and that's sort of what got me into space. DAOs are basically decentralized autonomous organizations. You can think of them as a group chat with a shared bank account, essentially. You have a shared mission, and you have shared governance that decides what happens with those funds.
What's governance for people who don't know?
Governance is basically like the decisions that you're making on how that money is spent, what the organization is doing, basically any decisions that are being made. And those decisions are distributed amongst the community who's a part of the DAO. So that's sort of like what got me into the space, mostly because to me, it was a really clear example of how Web3 and this new internet and new economy that's being created is very much in its design phase, where people are still trying to figure out what is this going to look like in 5, 10, 15 years, and what are the decisions that are being made today that are really going to fundamentally shape how people organize, how wealth is distributed, how value is created and dispersed among people who are working on a specific project. So for me personally, I think that there's this idea of what, you know, the space is about, or NFTs or flipping, or like sort of this toxic environment around like quick money or getting rich quick. And for me, it's way more about how we're designing the future of the internet and what we're and coordinating as people and building really amazing things. And I think the more that people are doing projects like that and thinking about the design of the future of the internet, it'll prove to be not a fad, not a scam, not something that is just here for a moment, but really something that's here for the rest of how we coordinate online.
Okay, got it. Thank you for that. So Markeisha, so at Grrls Creative Club, one of our biggest missions is to make sure all the women in our community get rich. And that's such a it seems like a dirty word for women, right? Right? We're supposed to help. Yeah. Right? It's like, it's something that's considered masculine when you want to monetize and make a lot of money, right? How do we change that narrative? Because women are expected to like do charity a lot, right? Right? Elise, you could probably attest to this, right? It's always like, you know, oh, let's do this as a charity. Let's do this for someone else. And when we say, no, I want to be, becoming a billionaire, there's debates about it, whatever. But I think that we should be comfortable talking about money because men are. Yeah. And it's not this like, you know, did you guys see The Devil Wears Prada? Yes. Mm-hmm. I love Meryl Streep. I love her so much. She's my favorite actress in the world, actor, person, period. But I remember watching it like recently. I watch it all the time, every time it comes on VH1. And it was like during the pandemic, I think it was last year when I was watching it, maybe for like the 14th time. And it hit me different because I'm like, remember when Anne Hathaway's character, like when she got this dream job, and her friends were happy when she brought the designer purses, and then when she had the fancy lingerie on for her boyfriend. But when she had to miss like a birthday thing because she had to work at the Met Gala, they were all like shunning her.
Right.
And then in Meryl Streep's character, she lost her husband because she was working all the time. And he's like, I'm tired of being Mrs. Miranda Priestley. And I was like, damn, yeah, that's what happens. And we've been conditioned to think that was normal. But when I saw it last year, I was like, wait a minute, this is awful. I mean, no, it's not awful for any people in Hollywood that might be watching. I loved it. But don't cancel me, no. No, but I was just like, this is problematic because it's like, it's okay to want to have a career.
The double standard.
Yeah. And I was like, but this has been normalized in society and media that women who want to make money are bad. So how do you think because I mean, you are about your business.
Very much so. Well, one, you are too, because when we were negotiating your contract to do work for us, you came in asking for $5,000 more than what I was paying everybody else, and you got it. Yeah. So I think
it was worth it, though.
Yes.
And know your worth.
So I think there's this misconception that women don't ask for their value, right? Like we go into the meetings like, okay, I know you're gonna give me the lowest like offer. I know that I can ask for 10 to 20% more than what you're offering me just to get to baseline. And then I have to think about like monetary, like how do I negotiate 20% above that? So I think that what has happened as of late, and I'll tell you a story about when I was in business school, right? Is we realize that there's money out there. Like we see it. We're hearing about acquisitions. We're hearing about fundraising. We're hearing about all of these NFT sales that are happening and folks are making money. And I think the disconnect that's happening is that we are just not sure of the negotiation tactics that have to happen. So I think there's that. Like if somebody says no the first time, people could be like, oh, okay, sure. Like I'll take it. But you have to go back to the table and say, like, no, I'm not going to take that because this is the work that I do. This is the work that somebody that you recently did work with has done. And I'm doing more than what they're doing, and I know that they probably got more, so you can give me more, or I can walk away from the deal. Like, I think there's also this thing that we have to be comfortable walking away from a bag if it's not what we know our value is. I think that's another thing. And I think the other piece of that, when I was in business school, I learned, like, don't look at, like, I started out, like, not wanting to follow women as leaders because there was this, like, connotation that we were weak. And this is when Sheryl Sandberg was, like, writing her Facebook book. There was this connotation that, like, we were weak and, like, we weren't going to ask for anything. And so I was, like, looking at men and I was, like, seeing how they moved. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do what he did. Like, I'm going to do everything that he did. And, like, if you tell me different, I'll know it's because I'm a woman. And that's what got me as far as I got. And then along the way, and I'll close this quickly, I had mentors who told me, don't take that. Go and get more money. Go and get more equity. Go and get more because there's more out there. And I think that if you stop for a minute and think, like, is there more? And if the answer is, like, maybe there could be, always go back for it. Whether it's equity, whether it's money, whether it's resources, investment, like, get whatever it is that you need to be successful because you still have to do the work. So don't take anything that's less than what's valued.
Amazing.
I'm like sweating.
I know.
I'm like so hot.
So I love that. So Courtney, you're at Decrypt Media, right? You guys are a crypto media platform.
Right.
You guys have a conference coming up in October.
We do.
And like when you're going into your boss's office or whomever, right? And you're like, we need more women, we need more diversity. You're like, what are those conversations like? And like, you know, do you feel like there's resistance? And what can we do differently to make sure that we're showing up? And because for Grrls Creative Club, I definitely like, I want to have conversations with everyone in the community who are, and then a napkin.
Like the lights are hot.
Yes. I want to have conversations because there's little things that no one tells us that can make all the difference. Like if you're a filmmaker, right? Like you could have the most amazing film ever, right? The amazing script, amazing actors. But if the sound is bad, you won't get into a film festival. And that's just a little thing that if one person just told you that, it can change your whole life. I'm like, why are we not giving free game, right? So what are the conversations like and what do you feel like?
So we have Decrypt Media, which is the crypto news site. And then we have Decrypt Studios, which is our experiential studio that does NFT projects, metaverse installations, brand activations. I'm very lucky that we're a very small team, first of all. We're like 25 people. So it's a very small team, very pro everyone, I guess is the best way to say it. On the studio side, it's a female founder, which is amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Same boss that pulled me over into the crypto space.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
She's also the CRO and publisher of Decrypt Media.
Okay.
So she is very aware of the need for more females in the space in general. We are very, you mentioned the conference in October. We're very, what do I want to say, cognizant during our events that we want a lot of females on stage. You mentioned I'm not going to name it by name.
Don't name
we
it.
we were both there.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful conference, by the way.
was
I mentioned that it was the best intersection of Web3 and art.
Yeah, for sure.
As
Very
far as a conference that I've been to.
high level and accessible.
So good.
Yeah.
But it needed a lot more female participation other than the attendees. So we were very good at getting female speakers. If you were to look at our speaker page on our website for our conference, it's heavily female.
Right.
It's very important to us.
Yeah.
So there's no pushback. It's I'm in charge of the speakers. It's like, this is who we're getting. I've already approached you.
Yay.
I'm hoping you come.
I mean, Napa, yeah.
Yeah, Napa in October is not bad. Wine.
Not that I'm a wine helper,
But yeah, there's no pushback. Everyone's very supportive. I have to say, overall in this space, coming from ad tech, a much more positive experience in crypto Web3 from males.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you guys most excited about? I'll start with you, Natasha. And then we're going to bring in Shira. Do you guys know Shira Lazar? Anyone in the room?
Yes.
She's going to be joining us from Zoom, but we're gonna bring her up at any second whenever you guys are ready. But while we're doing that, I want to know, what are you most excited about?
Bad
in this
Grrls
space?
Creative Club. Obviously.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
why we're
That's a
here.
good answer.
Yes! Yay!
Well, how could we possibly follow that answer, Natasha?
I mean, I went first, so I had to take it.
How
There was a
dare
test, and I passed.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think definitely Bad Grrls Creative Club. And I would also say just seeing more representation of us in the space, and then also kids learning this stuff. Like, that's
Yeah.
coming, and I'm most excited about that for sure.
Well, kids and older people, though. I think we put a lot of focus on the young people, but I always think about like the people who have a dream deferred, who had to like raise families,
For
had to
sure.
move back home because they ran out of resources. So we had Warrington Hudlin on the first night of my residency, and he's 70 years old, and he is deep. I don't know anyone that's deeper in the metaverse than he is, and he's 70 years old, and he can tell you anything. So, yeah.
I love that.
Bad Grrls Creative Club. Good answer.
Yeah.
Yes, great answer.
No, hands down, females, minorities, younger kids. My kids are so excited to see me in this space. When I was a kid, when you played career, when you were a kid, you were a secretary, you were a teacher, you were a nurse. Those were your three go-tos when you were playing pretend. Now you're playing in the metaverse. Literally.
Literally.
In the metaverse.
Literally. Well, we got to make sure we keep our bodies fit since we're going to be in the metaverse, though, so we don't get sickly, right?
Yes, exactly. And like WALL-E, like the movie WALL-E.
Oh, I didn't see that. Is it
Oh.
good?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Who's in
movie.
it?
It's a Pixar movie.
Disney, Pixar.
Oh,
Right?
my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Why y'all laughing at me? It's not like it's Inside Out, which is the best animated movie ever made.
WALL-E's pretty good.
I think it's
not gonna
Pixar,
lie.
so same
I
studio.
don't know.
you know?
Inside Out was like quite a tearjerker. All right, so I just want to thank you guys so much.
Thank
We're gonna
you.
we don't go far because you guys have to go back and come on stage in a second. But
Okay.
I want to welcome Shira, and we're gonna clear the stage while she is coming
Do
up.
we stay or do we leave?
You can say you can.
Let's all hang out together.
So you
I don't know what's going on.
Shira, everybody say hi.
Hi. Oh my God, I'm on screen here. What's up from Los Angeles?
Shira, I don't know if you can see in the audience, but you have some familiar. You have Elise Swopes is here.
Kisses, kisses.
We have
Virtual
Jordan.
hug,
We have a
I'm
bunch of
hugging you.
friends in the house. She just gave you guys a hug. So Shira, I wish you were here. I begged you so hard to stay.
I know it's hard, but yeah, it's been a while. I was jumping around to conferences on the East Coast, back West Coast, but yes, wish I could be there. I'm there in spirit.
You're like the fairy godmother of the NFT space for women.
I feel like
really
that's
are.
aging me, but thanks. I will take it. I mean,
You are. You kind of just bring like this breath of fresh air. You're so open and transparent, and you share resources. You share your platform. Tell us a little bit about your claps. I heard the claps. Yes. Give it up for Shira Lazar. And, you know, you've been on the forefront of a lot of technological movements, right? You were early in a lot of platforms. Tell us a little bit about that.
yeah, I mean, I've been in digital media for almost 2 decades, not to age myself again. So I guess depending on what community you talk to, I could be a mother of sorts. My parents, I think, would wish I'm a mother already, but I say, yeah, my projects are my kids right now until I actually have one.
Yeah.
So, you know, I came up at a time in Los Angeles where it's either you auditioned and were on MTV and E, or you went to, you know, a local news station. And for me, those were 2 extremes, and I found myself in the middle. And I found myself actually stumbling into digital, which allowed me to pursue what I love doing, which was on air hosting and interviewing. And I came up at a time in LA where we were seeing the merging of Silicon Valley and Hollywood. It was when Ashton Kutcher was trying to hit 1 million Twitter followers, if you remember that. And this was even before, you know, YouTube was around, and it was this really exciting time. And so I was able to see the bridging of the gap then as Web 1 came into Web 2, and started vlogging and interviewing people, and created my company, What's Trending, a decade ago, which has been, you know, the first digital publisher to editorialize social media and digital culture and the influencer community. For me, the creator movement was, you know, really fascinating. I was at the first ever VidCon, which was at like in a basement of a hotel here in Los Angeles. Now it's at the Anaheim Convention Center. They just announced they're doing it on the East Coast, but imagine it starting in the basement of a hotel and then becoming like a Comic-Con for the creator movement. So I saw that all and started a company around that because I saw traditional media wasn't doing it. And for me, just like the reason why I saw the creators doing it is because we weren't given a shot to do what we love. And yet we weren't going to wait for anyone to give us permission to do what we love. And so that was kind of the inspiration behind What's Trending. And then fast forward to where we are today, which I see Web3 as an evolution, an upgrade from what I saw in terms of the creator economy in Web2. Similarly, everyone here believes in themselves, believes in their expression and their truth, and deserves to step into that, right? Exactly. And none of us are going to wait to make it happen. We are creators of our destiny. And the technology and the infrastructure is allowing us and enabling us to do that. Just like we did see an innovation with YouTube and mobile and Instagram and social media, and yet there were still boundaries, right? There were still limitations to that. And now we're seeing what the next stage of that is. And for me, that's why Web3 has been really fascinating, and for me, an evolution of my journey. You know, a lot of people are surprised, like when they hear that I've really hunkered down and doubled down, like since November of 2021.
Yeah.
And yet I say it's really been a 2-decade-long experience to get here. So now what I'm really passionate about doing, just like I did in Web 2, is curation, putting a spotlight on emerging voices and leaders and projects, representing, you know, and yes, underrepresented community members, right? It's been always something I've been very passionate about, tying in equity and impact into the work I do, as well as mental health and wellness. So
and you do the work. I think you heard Natasha from Boys Club talk about, like, with Boys Club, they don't just talk about it, they just do it. And you do it.
You know, I get downloads and then I say, yeah, let's just go, right? Let's just make it happen and be open to what comes along the way. And I think all of us here are multi-hyphenates, and maybe in the past that didn't make sense to a lot of people, but here it does. This is the time of the creative entrepreneur creator,
the creator economy. Yeah,
exactly.
good stuff.
And I think a lot of us in the past, it was either you're a creator or you're an entrepreneur. I believe that both those sides work together in a beautiful way.
I
and
agree.
it allows you
I
really
agree.
to succeed in this space.
So what are you most excited about?
This, I mean, the fact that I get to like meet and experience so many different people and ideas and creativity every single day.
Well, you know,
as I
Shira,
heard from the panelists, is an adventure.
Shira, I did a web series called Potty Break a few years ago.
Yeah.
And every episode took place in the bathroom. I wrote it, directed, starred in it. I was also craft services and the wardrobe. And I had to make my own theme song. And I was like, oh my God, I'm starting a club, Grrls Creative Club. And I had this theme song called Queen of the Club. So it turns out I'm also queen of another club. And I didn't even know it. It was like, it happened on its own. So I'm really excited to have you a part of this. And I want you to stay on camera and dance with your hands because we have a little special situation happening for y'all. And I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Shira. I need my hats. Having a little wardrobe situation.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I did my own makeup. But I want to thank everyone who's come out. I'm really excited. I didn't cry, so I'm very proud of myself. I'm going to ask everybody that was on stage tonight to come back on stage. Yes, come up, Courtney, because you were practicing your twerk in the back. I need you to come back, Kiki. Ryan, come up here. Israel, Guns and Hoses, I need you guys to come up here. Anyone from the audience, if you want to come up here. But I got a little surprise for y'all. Are you ready, Shira?
Yes.
Change my hat.
I'm texting the people who are there. This is amazing. I'm ready.
Guys, we actually have a giveaway, so make sure you sign up. We have David Ginsler in the house. He's an icon. And this is his line, Vanish. And he has a hat. We have a hat giveaway. These are $300 hats. And we talk about sustainability. These are upcycled. So make sure you come get a hat or sign up to get a hat. Come on stage. What are y'all standing around shy for? Hi. I got the hats in my hand. All right. Darling, is my table ready?
Yes, Your Highness.
Is my ass popping in this dress?
But of course, Your Highness.
Are these boys thirsty for my arrival?
Thirsty as fuck, Your Highness.
Well, let's get it. Can y'all turn it up? I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They ask me how it feels to be this lit. I don't know, baby, cause I'm just a shit. I walk up in here, see a bitch wearing my dress. I throw a drink on her and now I'm not stressed, bitch. Young boy trying to grab on my ass. Oh, really? I'ma put some Visine in his glass. Now you got diarrhea coming out your ass. That'll show you not to grab a bitch's ass. Cause I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But honestly, I'm getting old for this club shit. Cause Toni's gotta find her a husband. And young bitches gripping like a competition. Y'all clout chasing, ho. We on a mission. I would school you to the game, but the game ain't for free. These niggas pass you cause your shit looks gluten free. Girl pussy flows and it's tight like Jigga. Up me grip. Call me Jack the Gripper. You know, these young boys, when these young boys come up to me and they be saying you shit, but then they talk about you fine, ma. No cap. Yeah. What the fuck? Listen, I don't even know what that means. But I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm the queen of this club. I'm the queen of the club. I'm the queen of this club, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! Thank you, guys. Woo! Yay! Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kiki. Thank you, Chris, Israel. Thank you, Ryan, Natasha, Courtney, Markeisha. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Greene Space, and our wonderful producer, Jennifer. Everyone, make sure you sign up to get the raffle for the free hats from David Ginsler's Vanish line. And now let's party.